Hey there folks, this is Lucifer Lake Borden coming back at you with another video. And this video is going to be the second part of my Bible of Cthulhu review series. So, I just finished reading the second tome in the book, and it took me a while longer than I really wanted to take. Other things always going on, kind of getting distracted. But overall, I was actually very impressed with it. But before I go jumping into that, I just wanted to drop a little shout out to all my subscribers and whatnot. We're up to 250 subscribers here on the channel. That's pretty awesome. I know that there's other channels with more subscribers. They've been making videos longer than me. That's been consistent on one topic. But there is, I would like to say thank you all and whatnot. It's really great to have all of you who support my channel. That being said, if you like my content and you like seeing stuff here in the Black Parlor, seeing me talk about various books from various occult authors, such as the Bible of Cthulhu or whatnot, please support me. Go on over, you'll find a link down below that not only takes you to our website for the Satanic Thulian Society, you'll find other links that lead you to our Meetup groups, as well as our Subscribe Star. Subscribe Star is a really great place that you can donate and support me here and see what we do, and even possibly have access to some materials that you just can't get anywhere else, or even some videos that haven't been released here yet. They will be going up earlier on Subscribe Star for those people who subscribe to me there. So check out the link down below. That's going to be pretty cool. And subscribe to me over on Subscribe Star and support me out there. Thank you all and whatnot. I'll be getting some other stuff up here too if you want to donate and everything. So let's move on. So as I said, I finished up the second tome in this in the book, and it is called the Tome of Shub-Niggurath, and it's very interesting. One of the things that, oh no, it's not called Tome of Shub-Niggurath. I don't know why I said that. Skipped a page. The Tome of Sothoth. I jumped ahead there. I'm about to get into the Tome of Cthulhu, and after that will be Shub-Niggurath. The Tome of Sothoth is fairly interesting. It goes into some of the details of the mentality and the mindset of the cult of Cthulhu. And while most of it is fairly straightforward and fairly in line with a lot of what Satanism talks about, two segments, the last two parts, I really wanted to focus on, especially they were the ones that I just finished reading, and they're talking about death, which is a subject that I'm currently working on in a project of mine. Right now, talking about hell and the hellscape. They're talking about death and magic and how sorcery is practiced in the left-hand path. Now, I'm going to say that there is definitely some things that we in the Satanic Thulian Society, and most Satanism in and of itself, definitely agree with. Quite a bit, actually. A lot of Satanists are atheists, though, and here in Satanic Thulian Society, we're not atheistic, even though we're Levians. And one of the things that they talk about, that Wyntre talks about, is what happens on the other side when you die. And Wyntre, this is what happens. Nothing. Black void. Okay? And as a person who has actually passed away before, I had a near-death experience when I was a child, which led me on this whole thing. I saw things that I had to agree with him on that, and it's been a topic that I've researched and been researching again recently for my current subject. The void, the blackness, and whatnot is actually a thing, and it's called many things. One of the oldest terms for it was the walls of Erebus, and we call it the between, the umbra, the further, and just, the other side, the nether realm. And what it is for a lot of people, they tune it out in these near-death experiences. Unfortunately, this is where I have to disagree with Wyntre, respectfully, because I am a person who has had a near-death experience in his life, and I've been to the other side. I actually have a video on that, and I'll try to find it and throw a link to it down below, about what happened to me in my near-death experience as a child. Because I'm one of these people who have actually had one of these experiences, and I acknowledge that there's other people who were down longer than me, I have to say that there is definitely an afterlife. Now, there is a lot of things here that Wyntre points out about death that is very factual, solid, true, and good information. One of the big things that he does, and actually proves the existence of an afterlife, is one of the same things that we here at Satanic Thulian Society also say and agree with, is that there is no energy that is destroyed or created in the universe. It's all the same energy, vibrating on different wavelengths, and, when one body, when one form dies and is destroyed, that energy, that matter, goes somewhere else. It doesn't disappear. It gets reconstituted back into the universe at large. But where we differ in what we think on it and how we think, here at Satanic Thulian Society, we acknowledge that, yes, that black void does exist. It is the first stopping point in the destination. But there is something more. There is an afterlife beyond that. And we don't say that everybody has to agree with us on this. We don't even say that people have to believe in what we're telling them. For each person, it is different, it is unique, it is individual, and that is something that we all need to remember. And so, when we talk about that, when we say we have to respectfully disagree that there is indeed more, your consciousness, the very essence of what you are, that science hasn't been able to quantify or fully understand yet, is passed on. We know that the energy of the body, the electrical neurons and impulses, they don't just stop firing. That energy has to go somewhere. And there have been scientific studies and readings that show energy, that can detect energies from a person or animal as it's dying. That energy is dispersed into the atmosphere. We're not talking about the solid matter state that dissolves and is decomposed and returns to the earth. That's a totally different type of energy. We're talking about the electrical impulses that carry exactly who we are, the very essence of our being. Some people call it the soul. Other people call it the Ka, the chi force, literally the force. In some instances, if you're into Star Wars and Sithism and Jediism. So, we know one thing that we are in agreement with is it does continue on. But in what state does it continue on? That's just a whole big discussion that I don't think anybody can just put in a single chapter in a book. This is a topic that would have a book entirely to itself, and it would be a very interesting read and a very difficult book to study. The second point that I wanted to point out and discuss was magic, sorcery. I feel that a lot of what Wyntre says here in this is very, very true. Of course, sorcery for the cult of Cthulhu is very mental, and it's very mentalist, where it's a lot of it is up here. Very little of it is in actual ritual or whatnot, which, as you can see from the altar behind me, in the setup here in the Black Parlor, and as members of our organization will note, for us, ritual is a very big portion of what we do. We actually are theistic Levians, thus pre-1975. So we actually do believe in a very real Satan. And this comes back to the afterlife and, whether or not it exists or not. And one of the things that we acknowledge is that Satan could also be described as the dark side of the force, a dark undercurrent of energy in nature. We acknowledge that it is some sort of energy source, some sort of conscious energy. Now, that could be anything from a tulpa, a egregore, or any other sort of conscious thought form, a self-activated thought form that could exist autonomously. Or it could be something completely different. We don't know. What's really great about the cult of Cthulhu is that they make room for both the theistic and the atheistic. And they call, I forget exactly what they call it, something like pantheistic, and I forget the other term, and I'm just going to go digging through this. But in this tome, it discusses this, and this is one of the big things that I really like that I found on their website, where it discusses how the atheistic and the theistic in Cthulhianism, in the cult of Cthulhu, can walk hand in hand, side by side, perfectly in step and in tune with each other. And this is something here in STS that we've always said, that we always respect. We understand that the majority of modern Satanists out there are atheistic in nature, but we also know that there are theistic Satanists out there who have tried to move away from the atheistic Church of Satan style Satanists and the basic Levians who are more atheistic. There are also that finite group of Levians like us that are theistic. And that's where SDS comes in, where we walk the thin line right there, where we take the atheistic notions and the theistic, and we walk hand in hand with both of them right down the middle. And we believe that that's how LeVay would have really wanted it in pre-1975 Church of Satan. We believe that's how he practiced it privately, behind closed doors, after 1975 up until the time that he died. And this has been supported by our personal research, which you can find on our website. So, overall, what is my feeling about the Tome of Yog-Sothoth? There are portions of it that can be very dragging, very long-winded. This can make it very difficult for the layman reader to stay focused on it. Fortunately, Wyntre has taken the extra step, and on the Cult of Cthulhu's website, you can also study a pared-down version of the Bible of Cthulhu in their Miskatonic University and quiz yourself on things. This is a great thing that I love about the Cult of Cthulhu. It's something that we are also working on employing here in STS. Sorry, Wyntre, I'm going to be stealing some of your ideas out there because they're good ideas and they're good techniques and whatnot, and they should be utilized by a lot more people. So congratulations on that. My overall feeling about the Tome of Yog-Sothoth, sometimes long-winded. A lot of it is really good information. I'm really looking forward to getting to the Tome of Cthulhu. There's some portions that I have to disagree with. I don't think everybody's going to 100% agree with everything on a very personal level, but that's one of the beautiful things about most of the different forms of Satanism, which does include Cthulhianism, and that's something that I really love that I saw in the Bible of Cthulhu, is that Wyntre points out that it's okay for a cultist in the Cult of Cthulhu to practice the satanic arts if that works for him. It's okay to do that. It's okay to be a Satanist and a Cthulian at the same time. They walk hand in hand. Cthulians can walk many different paths in life, so can Satanists, and in this book it really points that out, and that's a really good thing. Overall, 5 stars Wyntre on so far what I've read out of this book, and I'm looking forward to finally getting to the second part. My apologies to the cult. I know there's cult members out there that have been chomping at the bit for me to make this second video and whatnot, and I'm really glad that I finally was able to do it. It took me a while to work my way through this. Sorry guys, life gets in the way. My bad. But here you go. Here it is. So if you guys want to go out and buy this book, go over to the Cult of Cthulhu website. Check it out in their shop. I will be throwing a link to it down below. And that's my review for this. 2 thumbs up. And yeah, go check it out. Until next time, I'm Lucifer Lake of Borden. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. And please, please, please go check out my subscribe star and support me there. Please check out the Satanic Thulian Society website and the Cult of Cthulhu website. Until next time, I'm Lucifer Lake of Borden, and I'm out of here.